How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy IX once again. I know it's been quite a while since our last video, so I wanted to hop straight back into it and get this little series going again, because I mean, it's always a blast. I had quite a few people in the FF9 communities and as well as the Discord kind of reaching out and asking me where the Final Fantasy IX Moguri mod content's been, you know. And as you may know by the title, it's usually Moguri mod and alternate fantasy mod. This video in particular, given where we're at this point in the game, I just kind of wanted to dedicate this to like just doing chocographs and, you know, knocking that out real fast, just for the people who, you know, may not know exactly where to get all those, you know, or if they don't remember. So yeah, I figured at this point in the game, you know, it'd be a perfect spot, because this is about the point of the story where you can break away and get most of them. Not all of them, but just about most of them. So I'll just show you where we're at, because in the last video, of course, if you follow this series, we just got Beatrix, as you can see. That is with the alternate fantasy mod, so I was just showcasing that in the last video. So this is pretty much right after you get the Hildegard 3 airship from Limblum, you know, third disc, obviously. So we did that. So we're in Chocobo's Lagoon right now, and I'll just show you exactly what we have. A very high level Chocobo, of course. But so we have 13 in our inventory total. So that's about the max that you should be able to dig up right now. So I figured the easiest way to go about this, I think we're just gonna go down the list for you guys. I think that'll be the easiest, instead of going by, you know, geographically, like what's closest wherever here. You know, we're just gonna go down the list, get these. A few of these are gonna open up our next abilities for Choco, so we'll be able to do that. Like, here's one that we have that's locked right now, obviously. We should be able to get that shortly, though. But yeah, I'm gonna try not to edit out a whole lot. I'll try to leave a lot of it in for you guys. So we'll just hop straight back over here, just to show you guys exactly where we're at, you know, so I don't lose you, because I like to play fairly quickly, but, you know, obviously not leave anything out for you, any vital information. So we'll park this guy. We just got the Hildegard 3, so we're gonna fly right over. I probably should have equipped that and showed you what the first chocograph was, but I'm just gonna fly straight to it right now. I believe it's called the Uncultivated Land Chocograph. So you should be able to recognize where we're at. We're basically on the opposite side of the evil forest. So here we are, right there. There we go. Let's call for our buddy here, just so I don't lose you. Go back up to it. Yeah, so that's what this one is right here. The treasure is buried near a river, Kupo, but I don't think it's going to be easy to find. Maybe you should leave it alone for now. Yeah, because at the time that you dig this the chocograph clue up, it's like, I don't know if it's late in the first disc or the second disc, you know. So that is a very good suggestion. So it's right... Yep, okay, so it's right around here, yep. I was looking at it, flipped around pretty much. Pretty decent stuff, though. That cargo ship card's pretty rare. So yeah, right there, in that little cinematic view. See, that kind of resembles that chocograph up in the top corner. And we'll show you on the map exactly where it's at. There's our airship. Alright, so that one knocked out of the way. Our next one is going to be Coldfield. And that's pretty obvious where we go. Only spot that resembles that. And this is one you can just get a couple missions back when you go to Estogaza. you can get that right when you dock on this shoreline over here. But I just figured I'd save it for this video. But yeah, I figure a lot of you guys watching this, you probably know where most of the stuff's at, but I just figured I didn't want to leave this out because it would just kind of make the series feel a little bit empty, you know. I figure anybody following along that just so happens to not remember, or they might not know a couple of these locations, you know. Here we are. So I think this one is right. So let me turn the speed boost off. I think it's right. I thought it was on the end. It might be over here. There it is. Yep. I know it's on the little tip of the land right there. Alrighty. Couple basic items. Leadership cards, another good one. On to the next one. This is Forgotten Lagoon. So our little clue here to go by is, Chocobo, why not go play in icy cold water? Alright, so some treasure is hidden in the shallows, Chocobo. That... is that spelling error always there? Was that in the original? Like, I don't recall that one. The way they misspelled treasure. Anyways, so, icy cold water. So that suggests that it's... can't be too far, right? So it's really not. We don't have to go that far. It is right down here, though. If you can see this little island right here of the Forgotten Continent, the most northeastern tip right here. So it's going to be right along here. But luckily for us, there's a little stretch of reef that we can kind of swim along here. So you just go right through here, navigate your way right down to it, and this is it right here. I forgot what side it's on. I think it's on this side, though. Yeah, here we go. We can just get crazy. There we go. And we got it. Couple more basic items, and Dragon's Claws. Oh, yeah. So those are pretty powerful. So pretty nice. We'll get back to our ship. Show you what we're going to be doing next. We are on to Faraway Lagoon. I heard there was a long stretch of reef. That might be it, Chocobo. It feels really far away if your Chocobo isn't grown up. Okay. Alright, so getting this one equipped here. But that's right here. And for the Chocobo Hot and Cold side quest, we are going to be visiting this one once more for another Chocograph right towards the end. Okay. Now we got it equipped. Okay, there we go. I think we got to come off this side and just follow this along, of course. And we won't have to worry about, you know, sticking to the shallow water for very long, because we should be able to, getting the upgrade here shortly. But I think this one is kind of tucked in, I want to say. I think it's over... yeah, here we go. I'm just kind of, shooting right off the top of my head for most of these. I have done them plenty of times, but it's amazing with, you know, just how busy you get in life and how many other games and whatnot I've played since then in between. Like, no matter how many times you play it, I forget it, you know, a month after I do it. But with that one out of the way, a couple good items there towards the end. The next one is, I believe it's the Bird's Eye Lagoon. Yep. So, and once again, I'm just going by what we can get. At this point in the game, this is the point of the game where we can get the absolute most Chocographs at the earliest point. Alright, so Bird's Eye Lagoon, just showing you from the from an aerial perspective where this is at. We can't change the camera to really emulate that chocograph picture up here, but this is it right here. I'll show you on the map. Western side of the Mist Continent. So, in reference to Q's Marsh, this should be Limblam's Dragon Gate right here. So this is where you'd come out. So we're gonna go dock over here and call for a Chocobo and make our way out to this. That's it right there. I remember this one kind of stumped me when I was younger. Just felt like we couldn't narrow the search down and do it like the first time going for it. It's just like, oh, there's so many islands, you know, but pretty easy though. So just make our way out to over here. And it should be on this side right here. Yep. I love when it's just one dig like that. Magician robe. So nothing real great, but you know, free stuff. What you gonna do? Alrighty. So this is gonna be the last one that we can get for right now, that is. But this one is going to actually open up more opportunities for us. So, Dawn Lagoon. This is near a city where the night never ends. Lots of rich people live there, Kupo. Well, the only place I can think of is the City of Nobles, Treno. When you think of that, you think of it being, you know, kind of, you know, on top of the mountain and all that, right? But so what we're going to do, I'll show you on the map. This is Treno. We can just ever so slightly make out the shoreline of this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure. I think this map has been redone with Moguri mod, but I'm not 100%. But it definitely looks a lot more sharper though. So yeah, so now you can kind of make out some of the terrain and whatnot. But here's Treno. So we're gonna go right over here. I think there's some tracks right. Might be back over here. If not, we can just come out from over there by the Chocobo's forest, I believe. Yeah, we're going a little too far. So we'll dock by Chocobo's Chocobo's forest. There we go. Alright, so we have that equipped. And once again, we'll just show you. So right over here, we're just going to go... I think we want to go out off of this shore right here, I believe. So if you're looking at this from the other point of view, we're right next to it. I like to try... I really try to emulate that the chocograph picture, but it's kind of hard to do that. But this is it right here. Strange smoke appeared. Now we're getting sleepy. So now we get the power of the mountain chocobo. And this is kind of a short-lived variation of Choco. And I'll show you what I mean right here. So right when we leave this, as you can see, we can't really I mean, this opens this opportunity, but we're gonna have to wait to get this one still till we get over there. We're gonna go dig up a couple more chocographs. So we're right next to the Chocobo's forest now. Now we can go on in here, and to mean surprise of our new color now. Yeah, now once we play hot and cold, we can dig up here, And right up top over here, I'll just show you one match. So basically, I'm going to show you a match and just how I do these things with speed boost turned on. I'll show you one, and then I'll break away for a few minutes and dig up the remaining couple that I can dig up here, and then we will proceed with the Chocograph hunt. So I have kind of like a little pathway I like to follow. I like to go do like a little zigzag kind of, and then when I know I'm close, just kind of circle that area, you know. Sometimes it's not as graceful as it should be, but there we go. And then I just kind of start doing this. Dig up here once. And don't do that mistake. And then just kind of work my way back down. That way you can always kind of like just circle around. You'll always get, you know, usually the max that you can get, unless you get kind of a bad round, you know, that sometimes happens. Just kind of rinse and repeat. Not that it really matters, because I mean it's really not a very challenging side quest, but right there we lucked out. We got a Chocograph right off the bat, so that's always good. We got our little bonus time. So I'm closer to this side, so I'm just going to start up here and work my way back down, back and forth, zigzag. Boom. Zigzag back up. I'm sure there's better techniques out there, you know, this is what's always worked for me with the last, you know, 20 years of gameplay. So it is what it is. We almost maxed it out. Almost got the 8 limit, but just a little short. But we did get a Chocograph, though, at the very least. So that is nice. So just showing you guys that, I'm going to take a moment to break away and dig up the next few that I can get here. So we will see you when we return. Alrighty, so after a good 20 minutes, I'd say, of a good grueling 20 different rounds of Chocobo Hot and Cold, we were able to dig up the last remaining Chocographs of this location. You could see the ridiculous jump in levels that we gained from that. So now, with that being said, let's show off what we just got. So we're up to about 17. We got a good 4. Not counting the Chocograph pieces that we dug up. We dug up 2 of those. So we got Forgotten Plains, Dusk Plains, Green Plains. That's a new one. And I can tell you exactly what we get from that one. Forbidden Forest. Alright. So, gonna head on out here. So with our new ability, the ability to climb mountains, we're actually just gonna go straight back to that one that I accidentally misled you guys on. But now we're able to get that one. So here it is. Once again, abandoned lagoon, southern part of the outer continent. So we can't reach it with the reef, and we couldn't get over there with the airship, you know. But we can just climb over everything now. But yeah, if you're on the 4th disc with the invincible airship, you can just land right here. You can land on any terrain, so it's a little bit easier then. But unfortunately, with the Hildegard 3 airship, you need the grasslands to land. But alas, here we are. So this is right over here. Straight to it. Here's the surrounding area and show you the map. Right in between here. Okay, so what's our next one we got? This is a fun one. This is a spot where you look at that Chocograph picture and you're like, what? If you haven't been close enough to this little mountainous spot, then you might be a little clueless on first glance. But that's what we're here for. I'll tell you exactly where this one is at. So we want to find the village of Dali. That should be... Don't use the mouse for that, because that's what happens. Right. There. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, here's Dali. And we gotta find some tracks nearby. But we don't have to go too far. Actually, I think we can just, you know, we'll just land right here since we're able to trek across all this terrain and all these mountains, so. This is back by that uncultivated land chocograph that we started off with pretty much. So just using these tracks, we'll go zip up around here, right past Alexandria. And just going across, here's the ice cavern. Here's Dali right here. This is literally right here. And see, this is what I meant. If you know, you have to get like really close to this mountain, really awkward angle to be able to make that out and see that there's a forest in there. But we got it. Easy as that. I believe we get the high mage staff here. Yep. So that is Vivi's second to last weapon. Very, very powerful weapon. That'll fetch you some very, very strong abilities, spells. So, zip back to our main mode of transportation, but before we do that, what's next on the list? Green Plains. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to get us our next ability already, right? It seems like, you know, 5 minutes ago we were just a light blue chocobo turning into a red chocobo, right? So this one, we didn't really go through the clues yet, but this one is right over past, pretty much behind Alexandria over here. You'll start to see these, like, this goofy terrain. So here it is right here. So we can kind of emulate that chocograph. You can see the shore right there. Nearest tracks would be right here. There we go. In between these two forests. And call for this bad boy. And you just climb these ledges. I think is it on the highest one? Yeah, it might be on the highest one. Then again, maybe not. It might be right. Might be like right here or something. The speed boost really messes with the input. You'll see me kind of like moving too far sometimes with just a flick of the analog stick, and that's not me. I don't know if that has to do with it being the Steam version or a change in the Moguri mod. It's up here though, I'm telling you. There we go. So another familiar scene here. All right. So now we have the dark blue, purplish, whatever you want to call it. This is the ocean chocobo, I like to call it. Before we get too far, let's double check our chocographs. For these two, I guess we can go ahead and get these. We're gonna go ahead and fly over. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and fly straight over to the Forgotten Continent. And in case you didn't know this about most of these older Final Fantasy games, see where we're at on the map. We're closer to the end. If you didn't know you can do this, here you go. Look at that. And it takes us right to the other side. Pretty cool. So we're here on the Forgotten Continent. I think we need to go a little bit south to where it's kind of dusk. So I'll show you exactly where we're at. We just landed right here. We're using this, and then we're just going to go straight east to those tracks. All for our little buddy here. And we will equip this one. So this is Dusk Plains. What a beautiful sunset, Kupo. Not really much to go by other than that sunset thing kind of suggests, if you remember our first venture over here, going to Oilvert, a certain spot of this map, you know, it's kind of turns to dusk. Gets a little darker. They tell you that right there, so we'll make sure that's equipped. And oh yeah, I don't know if I pointed it out. If you don't know, we dug something up back at the Chocobo's forest. That's a new item. This is the dead pepper. Basically, it's like a cocaine effect for your Chocobo, pretty much. So it doesn't do anything for us right here, but we're gonna show that off in a little bit. There's a couple spots. Actually, I'm gonna knock that out because it's right over here. So remember right exactly where we're at. This is going to be our first first dead pepper chocograph location. Well, not chocograph, but dead pepper dig spot. This is where that input thing kind of messes with you, like I was mentioning before. So this little crack is located right here. Point that out on the map. So this is the, I guess we could still call this the northeastern part of the Forgotten Continent. So you go up to it, get pretty close, use the dead pepper, makes kind of a louder sound. Genji helmet, build the guard 1 card, some pretty good stuff. So with the dead pepper now in our inventory, we're going to be able to dig up some of the legendary weapons and stuff. But on to the chocograph task at hand. I believe this one is right in this area, I believe. I think this is it right here. Yep. Okay, so we're close to it. So I'll show you the bird's eye view, kind of. See that? Just like that. First lucky dig. Right in between the plateau there. Kaiser Knuckles, Iron Man card. So we're getting some pretty good stuff now. So that's where it was, right there. Right there on the map. On to the next one. Forgotten Plains. All right. So the Long Peninsula. The Long Peninsula sort of points to the location of the treasures. And the Moogle's telling us to look for the Withered Plateau. Alrighty, folks. So once again, I made the mistake of pausing the recording during the last couple chocographs and not resuming it. So I went and got them, but I failed to record that. So I'm gonna just kind of do a little replay for you guys. Just kind of go head back up there. And I do apologize for that. So where we left off of that part, the last one that we got, I believe that was Forgotten Plains. So I'll just equip that, and we'll just pretend like we're getting it for the first time. So in reference to the geographical spot, this is right next to Ibsen's castle, basically, right up here, the very northwestern part of the map. And story-wise, that is where we're supposed to be heading right now. That's going to be for the next video when we actually continue the story. But just showing you in reference to, so you can see already right there. There's that grassland, kind of pointing to the tip of the island. So this is literally, it's literally right here on this little strip of a plateau. You know, we already dug it up. Unfortunately, I failed to record that, but it's literally right there for you guys. I'll show you the bird's eye view if needed. Right there. So that is that one. Forgotten Plains. Old Lagoon. This one's pretty self-explanatory. So we'll have to head back down to our airship. I kind of wish it was like Final Fantasy VII. I think Final Fantasy VII, once you get like a mountain chocobo, you could just head right over like any type of cliff, like right off into the ocean, I think. That's what I remember. But yeah, so unfortunately there's no shores and beaches on the Forgotten continent, so. But we will have to head back up to the cold continent for this one. I'm sorry, the Lost Continent. I don't know why I'm calling it the Old Continent. And another thing which kind of sucks that I messed up on with that recording issue. I went on over here to show you guys another dead pepper location dig spot. So this is right over here on the northeastern tip of the Lost Continent. So, you know, you just use that. We already got it, so it's not going to do anything. But it's right there. That gets you good amount of gems, a Rosetta ring, and an airship card. So pretty good stuff. So you can go around either way, but I just like to go around this end right here on the western side. Of course, being an ocean chocobo, we can just go all around now, all parts of the water. We don't have to follow the reef or anything. This one, here's our complicated cove, as they like to call it in the description. As you can see right there. This one is located right back here, and it's tucked in right over here. Right there. I'll show you the map once again, right there. Okay. So, completing that one, if you're following where we're at in the game, if you're following the same course, that's 17 out of 17, all that we have dug up right now. So now what we can do, you know, I can go around and show you, you know, where all the dead pepper locations are, but I want to stick just kind of to a more like linear path and just show you going down the Chocograph list. I just feel like it'll be a little easier this time around. Help us stay on course. So now what we're going to do now is head down to Chocobo's Lagoon. So having 3 out of the 4 Chocobo abilities unlocked, we're free to just head back down here, dig up the last few remaining ones that we can dig up before we get to the last spot and wrap up the Chocobo side quest. The very last dig location that you can dig up Chocographs is the Chocobo's Air Garden, if you don't know, or if you don't remember. Okay. And the Chocobo's Air Garden, that one is that one's found after you find the last Chocograph piece, I believe. You know, if I'm not mistaken. And see, now we don't have to follow that little path with the reef. We can just go right on over here. Like, it's no problem. You look kind of dirty, Kupo. That's a little hurtful, don't you think? Alright. So, once again, I'll just show you what's new with this Chocobo ability if you don't know. We'll just do a quick little dig spot. Or a good round of hot and cold. Now, because prior to that we were given 30 seconds, we were only limited to this spot. I guess apparently this is the deeper part of it. Doesn't really look like it, but now we can dig all around here. The dig depth for the treasures here is still pretty deep, though. That's just a location thing with this place. You know, just like I showed you in the Chocobo's forest, I just kind of like follow a little path. I just kind of like, I start off, kind of dig around until I find something, you know. And if I find something that I'm close to, like right here, then I'll just go continue my little path or just go zigzag back and forth. You know, that's what works for me. Guess it doesn't really matter, especially this time around. If you're playing on Steam, you know, then obviously you have the speed boost, you know. And honestly, I think you'd be a fool not to use it for this. Because this can be pretty time consuming. Especially for how repetitive it is. I think we got... Did we get 2 Chocographs? We definitely got that one right there. So not too bad for a first round. We maxed out and got all items. But Mean's gonna freak out because apparently he'll go out of business. I don't really understand that logic, but... yeah. So, with that one out of the way, I'm gonna break away for a brief moment and dig up the last remaining few that we can dig up at this location. And we'll see you guys in a moment. Alright guys, after much time spent here digging, we are back. So, Choco is now maxed out, level 99. So that's a little indication on how much we did. So, it's straight into the Chocographs, show you our inventory. So now, moving on, we have, I believe, 3. Yeah, we have 3 that we can obtain, 1 that we can't, because that requires the ability to fly. So that'll be our last one. But our very next one is Sea at Dusk. So there must be more treasures deeper in the ocean. Nothing else to go by but go dig in the ocean. So that's just what we're gonna do. You could probably guess where we have to go, you know, off of this one, you know, it's roughly around there. So we will go do that. What else do we got? With all that digging, with all those games that we played, we racked up an insane amount of points here. So we are going to exchange those. Top 2 they're both very good to have. I'm going to go with Robe of Lords right now. That way we can throw that onto Vivi. It's got some abilities. I think those are actually better for Garnet and Ico as well, but that's where it's going right now. So, all right, so let's head on out here. And I'm just gonna dock right here in this location that we did use this for one of the previous spots, I believe. Alright, so I just remembered that the one that we have equipped for Chocographs, that's actually on the eastern side. So it's probably better to just start where we were docked at Chocobo's Lagoon. And it's located, I believe, somewhere over here, I think. But, what I'm going to do right now is we're actually next to one right here. And this one's actually somewhat difficult, I can see. I remember my very first playthrough, I had a hell of a time. I'm like, you know, it doesn't show you anything. It's literally just the ocean. I mean, come on. look carefully, there's a small reef, and that still wasn't enough back then. Call a Chocobo near this place. I mean, that, you know, kind of narrows it down, but we're gonna go ahead and knock this one out since we are literally right next to it. So I'll just remind you exactly where we're at. Our western side, grassland island, west of the Forgotten Continent. So this one, I believe, is just literally a little bit west of right where we're at. So you just go straight out a little bit, start digging. There you go. In case you didn't know, there it is. So the light robe and the whale whisker. So the whale whisker, technically that's Garnet's legendary rod weapon. It's not the strongest legendary one. Now that's the tiger racket, but that's shared amongst Garnet and Ico. So with that one out of the way, we will re-equip C at desk, and I'll just show you where to go from here. But basically, we're just going to follow this all the way around. And we're just going over towards the eastern side, basically. I believe it's over towards the center. And we'll see right away. We'll see that. Yep. So you can see that island right there. I think it's out here. So it might be tucked in a little bit. Yeah, I think it's like over here. And they get a little bit tricky if it's like a first time playthrough or your first time going for these. And they get a little tricky towards the last few. But not too bad though, they're pretty manageable. Just gotta have a real keen eye for this stuff. White robe, that's very good. And a diamond. Mass immune card's a really good card too. Alright. So, Mist Ocean. So this is the last one we're going to be able to dig up as an ocean chocobo. Meaning that this is going to turn us into the golden chocobo and give us the ability to fly. So I think we'll be pretty much be able to get just about everything at this point of the game. That's kind of why I saved this chocobo stuff for this point of the game, because this is the earliest that you can absolutely, like, you can get pretty much everything all in one go. And I figured it was just kind of easier to save this than do it all in one video. And then going forward, you know, we can get the last couple legendary ones, because there's one that you cannot get, which is a dead pepper like foaming ocean spot. There's a couple treasures that are hidden deep within the ocean that you need to use a dead pepper for, and I'll show you that going forward. But the one I'm speaking of in particular is underneath Shimmering Island, and that is how you get Zidane's Ultima weapon. But anyways, focusing on where we are at currently. So Mist Ocean. I believe this is where we want to dock. Now, this is where we docked before to get that one that turned us into the Ocean Chocobo, right? Right there behind Alexandria. So we will call for our buddy here. Alright, and I guess it's called the sky ability, I think, and it's not the flying ability. But I believe this is it over here. If not, I think it's on the, it might be on the northeastern side if it's not over here. Don't mind me, I'm just misleading you guys. Yeah, I think it's over here, actually. Now let's try again. Yep, here we go. So you see where we just docked with the airship in between the two forests over there. left the shore, back over here, slightly northeastern. So we'll just search along here. It's literally just dead center in between these two in reference to on the Chocograph picture right there. Boom. Now time to get golden. So we now have all the abilities necessary to reach our homeland. So Mr. Fat Chocobo is indicating that we can now return to our homeland, which is known as Chocobo's Paradise. So we will be visiting that. We're going to take a look at our inventory right quick and see what else we got. And we'll probably be heading up to the Chocobo's Air Garden if we can. We'll be right back at that. Alright, so going forward, showing you the last one that we have in our inventory right now. Before we go and dig up our final 3 in the Chocobo's Air Garden. So this is Outer Island 2. Our one and only hint is, I think there's a desert nearby. I don't think you can get near it from the ocean. Okay. Well, there's only, really only one desert that we know of, right? As if you recall, there was a place, called Desert Palace. So that's right north of us, not too far. So we're not even going to bother with the airship. So if I'm not mistaken, I think it's this one. Because there is 2 Outer Island ones. I believe this is the second one. But I might have it reversed, but we're going to find out. Let's land right here and see. Yep. So we are on the correct one. Outer Island 2 will show you the map. It's this island. Here's reference to Desert Palace. It's north of that, right here. And we haven't been to this island right here. So, I'm actually going to show you guys that. In case anybody doesn't know about Magnet Central, that's what that is. Boom, got it. Thomas piece, that's very good. Build-A-Guard 3 card. Very good card. Alright, so we have all 21 out of 21 in our inventory currently. So, I'll just show you, since we're right here, we can land. We'll knock this out of the way. This isn't a hidden treasure, this is actually a location. So, get that dead pepper cocaine going. Cool little spot, Magnet Central. In case anybody doesn't know, it's kind of easy to miss. I mean, if you're not following along closely with everything. But we can talk to all these guys. So, basically all the dialogue here, everybody's just going off about the shortage, with the whole Magnet Central issue. This is the culprit right here, Artemisian. Unfortunately, there's really not a whole lot of other hints or anything to go by. This is just kind of a spot we return to once we obtain specific key item known as the Super Slick. So we get that a little bit later on. I think it's gonna be on the 4th disc, I believe. So that's when we'll be able to complete that and deliver all the Magnet Central letters. All right, so you're wondering. We have 21 out of 21, just if you don't know about Chocobo's Air Garden, you're wondering, how do we get the last 3? So, I'll point something out. We dug up all those Chocograph pieces, So if you haven't ever looked for these actually show up once you get all 6 of them, I believe it is. It forms that one Chocograph. Also, they show up here in your key items. So you can go one by one and look at this. So, just the first one, for example. So, who do not fear death. Find one. It's kind of like, you know, broken up dialogue. The islands in salvage. See what lies there. I can tell you right now there's a spot. It's literally right down where Duguario is and close to the Chocograph, the Chocobo's lagoon. They're referring to right here is the salvage archipelago. I think I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that correctly, but that's what that is. So it's just a lot of these little, like, kind of slightly broken up hints. Noble one, head northeast of the Mist Continent, reach Alexandrian Plains. So these are just hinting at the I'll refer to them as like the shadow locations for the Chocobo's air garden. So I'll show you what they mean there. Since we're close to it, that one was hinting at northeast of the Alexandrian Plains, so we'll just go over here and look around for something. It's, well, basically what we're looking for is a like a dark shadow that's kind of moving around on the ground. And that one would normally be like right over here, I believe. I think it's normally right here. So we're just gonna skip along. I know where most of these are off the top of my head, but there's one dead center. Now these just kind of, these are completely random. They alternate, but there's 6 locations altogether. So this one we would already bump into it, but yeah, so it's obviously not here. So we're just gonna head on down to here. Remember that very first one I read off to you, the Salvage Archipelago location. That one is on one of these islands down here randomly. And yep, sure enough, it's right here. This is what I'm referring to. So you see it's moving around. So what you need to do, it's going to be kind of hard with this wonky input that's kind of moving me around there. Okay, so line up. You need to make sure that you're flying too. Use our cocaine here. This shoots us up into a whole new spot here. So, Chocobo's Air Garden. Well, that's kind of cool little backstory. This island's, it's floating up high above the clouds, so that just kind of shows you, you know, how powerful that the Chocobo ability, you know, and the whole Chocobo thing in general has become. That we can just soar high above the clouds. And he tells you right there, basically what I just was mentioning before, the location of the island might change. So as soon as you exit the spot, you know, it might not be... You might not be able to go right back up, I don't think. You might have to go search for another location. Right off the bat, you know, we're able to do Chocobo Hot and Cold. You know, that's great and all. That's what we came here for. I just want to point out, just in case you didn't know, there's a little thing over here. Looks like an Eidolon cave. We don't want to go too far with this, with our selections here, but we can examine it. So Mean gets a strange presence inside here. Nothing, it's nothing he's ever felt before. It feels otherworldly. We're gonna leave alone because this is the home. This is home to the one of the optional secret bosses, Ozma. So he's basically like I think he's like a forgotten, like, ancient Eidolon or something like that. There's some more lore behind it, more backstory, which is actually kind of cool. But we will revisit that. We're gonna hold off till much later in the game. And so with the alternate fantasy mod, I don't know how difficult he's gonna be. So he's not, normally he's not that difficult per se, but he's just he's kind of randomized. There's not really a set strategy for him. So this is yeah, we're definitely going to be coming back and grinding before we take him on. This is the little path that I take for digging around here, since it's kind of a little bit different. So I just start doing my thing. Since I'm up here, I just work my way back, because you have this right here, which wastes a couple seconds, you know, flying and going back in between. Just shows you how fast you can knock these out, you know. But nothing over here, so we're gonna go back over here. It makes it a little difficult to try and go for like the full eight items that you can dig up. But in total, there's going to be 3 more Chocographs that we can obtain here. Okay, we haven't gotten one yet, I don't think. There we go. Here's our first one. Yeah, so that's it for... Oh, there we go. Got lucky last second. There we go. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for that round right there. So, once again, going to break away real fast and take up the last remaining 2. And we will see you guys then. Alrighty, guys. We are back after our short little break, and with much luck, on our 3rd round, we actually dug up the last 2 Chocographs back to back in the same round, amazingly. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that menu, show you what we dug up. Going forward, we have the Outer Island, Fairy Island, Forgotten Island. So, first one up, Outer Island. Chocobo, it isn't a very big island. How scary. I hope you like heights. Alrighty. Well, we're above the clouds, so I can't say we really don't mind them that much, you know? Yeah, so we'll hop on down. So we are done with Chocobo's air garden, pretty much, other than the Ozma boss. A little far away from the airship, but I'm not even going to bother with it. With speed boost, you know, we can make it up here in a matter of seconds, so... I like to try and keep my videos, you know, as quick as possible, straight to the point, you know. So I'm really grateful for that whole speed boost. Oh, and since we just passed it, here's one of those foaming, dead pepper foaming treasure spots I mentioned. You do have to be actually landed in the water, and you can dive underneath and get that. So we'll save that for a little bit later when we go and gather the rest of them. Is this the island? I think this is our island, yep. Boom, just like that. So with this one, I believe we get the Ragnarok, I think. Genji armor and the Ragnarok. So that is the second to the ultimate strongest sword for Steiner. That should teach him shock, and I believe maybe another ability, unless that's been changed with alternate fantasy mod, of course. I don't want to mislead you guys, because I think I've been wrong once or twice in the previous videos, just going by my basic FF9 knowledge, but I always forget to fact check with alternate fantasy mods. Some things are a little bit different, so forgive me. The next one up is the Fairy Island one. So that one is right over dead center. You want to have like no encounters or something on if you land on this island. Because this is home to the strongest but best enemies in the game that yield the most experience points. It's a very good spot to grind and, you know, ability learn and whatnot, but yeah, the enemies here will wipe you out if you're not ready for them. So, Fairy Island. Try going places you couldn't reach before. Yep, we've already done that, so I'll just show you on the map. Dead center. Dead center of the map. Dead center of this island, pretty much. So we're just going to go along the back of the mountain here. I know it's like right towards the edge, I believe. There we go. That's a very good hat accessory. Dark Matter card. That's very, very good card. And on to our very last one. So we should have the Forgotten Island one right here. I believe this one is right... pretty much right next to us, honestly. It's right here. This is one that always got me when I was younger. Because when you're, you know, when you're looking at it, I think, let me look at the chocograph that I'm thinking about. I think it's this one, yeah. This one, you're right next to this one. Basically, when you're digging it up, you're just pretty much out in the ocean, you know, right along over here. So this one is just a reverse of what I was always looking for. But I think it's on top of one of these things. There you go. So straight in the middle of that plateau, towards the end here. Start off with a ribbon, rebirth ring, amethyst, and an art card. Very good stuff there. So there you have it, folks. That is all 24 of the chocographs. So we do have one more thing. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys all the dead pepper locations while we're at it. Since there's only a few more, you know. So we're gonna land right here. Figure it makes it a little bit easier. So we got that one in the southern, the dusk part of the Forgotten Continent, right? So there's one that's... I probably should have just got this right when we were over here, but... you know. So this is literally right across, right from that one, that other one that we got. It's, you know, that one was like over here, I believe. So you just kind of go across, back over towards this little forest. Now this one is changed up slightly because they did change the locations that you get the ultimate weapons for people. Because normally you would get the, I think it's the dragon's hair. You would get the dragon's hair right here. But I don't think we're going to be able to get that right now. Kane's Lance. Okay. So basically, yeah, they just swapped the location with the alternate fantasy mod. So basically, he made it so you get all the every other character's ultimate weapon in Memoria, basically, which is, I mean, that makes sense. That's kind of cool. You get it in the very last spot. You know, you don't have to go out of your way and do anything crazy. You don't have to go do these side quests, you know, if you don't want to. You can just get it in the last spot with an alternate fantasy mod installed. But normally you would get that Kane's Lance, you know, in Memoria. So, we got the two right there. So, there's one... I think there's an ocean one down here, I believe. Yep. We don't have a very good spot to land, so we're just going to go back over here. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. You had to use that forest just to land. I wish you could land just on any flat ground. That would have been a really cool change with like a alternate fantasy mod or something, but not everything's possible, unfortunately. So, show you right where we're at in reference to the Chocobo's Lagoon. Right over here, the very, very, very bottom tip of the Forgotten Continent. There is a dive spot right here. Black robe. Some goodies there. And like I said, I'm just improvising, just kind of going off the top of my head. I intend to be somewhat thorough, you know, with this, trying to show you guys everything. You know, if I do forget one, I do apologize. I know there's going to be some... I know there's some perfectionists and completionists out there that will see right away, you know, my mistakes. I've played this game so many times, I've put so many hours into it, I know so much about it that I've forgotten so much about it, you know, if that makes sense. So, just a little disclaimer for that. You know, I might skip over something, but... Okay, we're gonna dock right here. Actually, yeah, this one is the, well, yeah, we're right next to the Quan's dwelling one, so what we do... There's more to this spot where you go in here with, I think it's Quina, Vivi, and Garnet in your party, and you're able to trigger a cool little sequence. You know, you kind of like see a really cool little scene. You're able to witness that and learn a little bit about some characters, and you also are able to go up to this clock and obtain some running shoes. You know, but obviously you're not right now. You go to this, something at the bottom of the ledge in the ocean. Looks like foam. So he gets the conclusion that, yeah, let's try a dead pepper. Kind of a random thought. That is a glitch right there. Oh boy, we're glitching out. Alright, so even though we're glitching out right now, that's great. Running shoes. And red rose card. Okay, so normally you would get the tiger racket from right there, but as I mentioned before, all the legendary and the final strongest weapons have been moved to Memoria. And you just witnessed a nice little glitch, so I'm just going to keep that in there just to show anybody that uses this. What I think I did wrong was I started moving around. And normally you're able to do that without it moving and, you know, trying to move off the ledge, because you're supposed to just stay on the ledge, but it worked. We got our treasure, so we're good. Alright, so we go on to the next. What I'll do is I'll just fly north a little bit. We will land right here. So just in this spot right up here, I believe it's up and over to the east, in between the Mist Continent and the Outer Continent. Right here. So if you can see in reference to where we're at currently, that's where we docked. Get the big map opened up. So, right there. And this is just a whole pack of Aloha gear, pretty much. Kind of pointless, honestly. But that's where that one's at. I think normally in the vanilla version of the game, the regular version, I think those items sell for a decent amount of money. I mean, at this point in the game, you really wouldn't have to worry about Gil, I don't think, but just something if you want a full inventory. And let me think here. We got Magnet Central, right? We got that. On top of my head, I can't really think of another one, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take flight yet again with our Chocobo, and we're gonna visit Chocobo's Paradise. This is gonna be the last thing we can do before we wrap this video up. I didn't intend for this video to be so long, but going along, you know, just going along with it, I figured we might as well do all the Chocographs and pretty much everything with the Chocobos all in one video. hopefully this can help some people out and just be a good refresher to some people. So what I like to do is I just like to head for like any corner of the map, basically, and you'll be able to reach this. Yep, so like pretty much like right here. See, because like right here, it kind of like shows us on the left side now. Kind of awkward, but this is the only way you can get over here and enter it, is with the Chocobo. So give him the red pepper cocaine one more time. So this is paradise. It is a very beautiful place. I really love that the developer, the whole team with Moguri Mod, I really love that they were able to go through each and every one of these. Like, I don't think there's one level, like one town or anything that's really untouched. But they were able to actually like touch up and just redo every level of the game, which is just amazing. So once again, hats off to the developers, Moguri Mod and Ultimate Fantasy Mod. I'm having a blast with this playthrough. I hope you guys are enjoying this as well, anybody who's come here. I know this video in particular isn't very mod specific. It's not really a mod specific video because we're kind of just straying off doing the side quests, but going forward in the next video, we're going to go right back into it in the story. So he's basically telling us how he thinks it goes, you know. Choco will stay here and start a new life with us. You should say your goodbyes now. Kind of effed up. But that's not how it's going to play out, though. That's pretty cool. He's able to speak to Choco. And even Choco says he's, you know, we're not ready. We still got plenty to do. Even though we do have all the Chocographs. So we're free to go back out. If I'm not mistaken, I think we can pay him a visit again and talk to these guys. Do you want all the dead pepper I own? Cool. So you speak to them, you get 99 dead peppers, which is pretty cool, you know, if you're going, they kind of give you some hints here. And these are just hints at those dead pepper locations and whatnot. So you see that? That's pretty cool. We already got that in the ice field. And then once you speak to everybody, once you get all the locations, you can come back here, you'll speak to him, and then he tells you another thing about visiting all the beaches. I don't know if I've ever done that. The healing, I think it's the healing shore or something like that. And we've already got the 2 on Forgotten Continent. So I think that is all we can do as of right now with the Chocobo. Other than the very, very last one, I'll just point it out for you guys. Don't want to leave any stone unturned here. And of course, if I did forget some other one, then I mean I'll address it in the next upcoming videos. But this is the Shimmering Island. This is part of the story. Very, very late well, coming up shortly in the story mode. So we will be visiting this. Something happens to this island, and at the start of the 4th disc, it won't be here. This will be the dig spot for the final and last Dead Pepper location. So, that being said, yeah, I think that's all we can do. So I hope this video helped anybody out. If you, just in case you guys were wondering, any of the Chocograph spots that you were unsure of or you didn't know, I hope this video was able to help you out. I hope it was entertaining, to say the least. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I'm gonna get cracking on the next video. So until then, take care, guys.